I started a second character on Settler Fugitive's GTA Online PC account with the expressed intention of winning 50 races so that I could unlock all of the car mods at Los Santos Customs while doing it in as few races as possible. Alright, so I started a playlist. These are all Rockstar races. I think the main thing was, I think because I had a second character, it allowed me to access races that I wouldn't be able to if I was just a level 1 starting out character normally. So yeah, this guy gets pole position. He's got a pretty good start on me. I like to turn off my lights, especially at night. And then he doesn't know the course and runs right into and that's pretty much race over right there. He never catches me up. I like to turn off my lights when I'm racing, and that way, one, the other racers can't see me as well, especially at night. Primarily at night, I guess I'd be turning off my lights there, not in the day. So then we do another race, Thrills in the Hills. So for all of these races, I have Slipstream and Catch Up turned off, Traffic is turned off, and Customs are turned off. Since I'm a level 1 character, I don't have any vehicles. I basically skipped the online tutorial when I created the character and jumped right into racing. So he's right on my butt for a while here, but I'm expecting, and I am correct, that corner right there was going to make the big difference. So he ends up way behind me. He crashes a few more times, and then here on the third lap he starts trolling. Right there you can see he comes and swipes me. And then this is still on the third lap, and I see he's coming around to try and get me again. So I do this little tricky maneuver here through the tree, and he misses me. And I hope that pissed him off even more. And then we're coming up on the finish of the lap, and I didn't even try to avoid him. And then I decide just to be dumb and finish in reverse. And in the beginning here, I keep getting a rank up every time I win a race. I probably would have gotten a rank up even if I lost the race. The experience needed to level up is pretty minuscule in the beginning. So that guy left after that race, and so now I have a new opponent. A new opponent that disconnects. So I'm in this race all by myself, and it takes me a minute to notice that. But, so now I'm wondering when the disconnect happened. I'm thinking that I'm gonna still get it's still gonna count as a win. And at the beginning of here I see that it did increment. So I did get a win for that, even though that my opponent left. I was in the lobby all by myself. As long as you start the race, and there's another opponent, at least one, it will count toward your win and loss. So now here we go with, I have 2 opponents this time, and I'm not starting in pole position. I'm going to be a little extra cautious that they will try to take me out. And basically I'm just going to wait for them to make a mistake before I try to get an overtake on them. And on the first corner there. Now I don't know why this guy stops, but he just stopped. and I ran into him, and then he's waiting still. So I don't know if he thinks he wrecked the person and is just being courteous and waiting. I don't know what was going on there, but I just went for it. I mean, I ran into the back of him, but that was basically because they stopped. And that's not my fault. So yeah, they never catch up. It looks like they're trying to take each other out, possibly. I don't know if they just had some bad blood between them and wanted to fight it out or what, but this is pretty much race over after, and then it goes on for however many laps, but they never even come close to me after that first turn. So we move on. This time three opponents. Going for my 5th win in a row. Let's take the fugitive, since my name is Son of a Fugitive. Luckily, the Fugitive is a competitive vehicle in the class. A big part of winning 50 races is choosing the conditions that you race in. If I had just gone into public lobbies where I wasn't the host, we'd had slipstream and catch-up turned on, and custom vehicles, and just all the normal crap that goes with racing with randoms in GTA Online. I may not have even gotten one win. The key on those kind of races is to get out in front early, avoid any hassles if you're not out in front, and just get around the people as they try to take each other out and crash on corners themselves. And yeah, just keep going. Eventually 2 of the guys leave. I have no problems finishing the race in first. They never have a contest. Usually I try to set the races so there's enough laps that the race is at least 4 minutes long. Every 2 minutes, the amount of pay and RP that you get increases, but you get sort of a diminishing return after 4 minutes. After 8 minutes, it doesn't increase anymore. So you get, I think it's 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8 minute are the different bumps. Okay. So taking the Exemplar, which is a great car when you're racing stocks. Doesn't get a spoiler upgrade at Los Santos Customs, so it doesn't remain competitive when you're using custom vehicles. But in its stock version, it does really well against the other coupes. Coupes. So I got one guy who's really kind of on me. And he just sails into the parking lot on that corner. And I off into the distance. And if you look down at the mini-map, you see the next guy goes into the parking lot. And I think everybody in this race gets hung up on that corner for the most part, except for me. There may be one other guy near the back of the pack that doesn't have any trouble with it, but I remember my first time running this race. I went right into the dumpster on that corner. So yeah, a lot of it's just knowing the tracks. So you can, if you set a playlist of tracks that you know, and just set the conditions to what you like. Another thing that I like to do is set the races to nighttime and rain, because most people, and even a lot of the so-called competent randoms that you'll meet, when rain is turned on, they just don't know how to drive anymore, and it's really easy to get wins that way, or in the snow if it's Christmas time. And that's why I love the snow and the rain. It's just separates the tryhards from true racers. And that's the thing, though. It's like when I raced with Nonchalant Dominance, when I was in that crew, I lost a lot. I'm not really a very good racer. I know how to do a lot of things basically. So yeah, okay, so there was this guy here, back marker, and he was waiting there for a while and respawned just as I was coming up. So I'm feeling like he's gonna troll me. So I'm hanging back and not trying to do the overtake. I don't need it. I am trying to consolidate first place. I do see that the guy behind me in second is closing on me this entire time, that the back marker is slowing me down, but I'm concerned that if he takes me out, I lose the race. So then here I get a little bold and almost lose that corner, but I could tell by the way he was driving that he wasn't even going to come close to taking the corner. So yeah, so second place is coming up, and now he has to deal with the back marker, it looks like. Either way, all I gotta do is not make any big mistakes, and this race is mine. And this race is mine. Alright, so last race of the playlist. Learning curve. So what I'm doing on these is also the time of day. I think I'm setting it to current, so we're going through a day-night cycle throughout these races. I'm worried that guy was going to take me out right from the get-go, but he didn't. And that was awfully kind. So I'm feeling that this guy at least is somewhat of a clean-ish racer, which is great to encounter. Deceptively, that is a really easy place to spin out that first corner. So yeah, a lot of this is just getting out in the lead and keeping it. That way you don't have to deal with other people's mistakes. Alright, so... Okay, so that's that corner. That's exactly what I was talking about. So now second place is closing up on me. I made, that's a big mistake. Then it turns out that he seems to do the same exact thing that I did right there. And spins out. So that was a bit of a save. Or at least more breathing room for me. So that's it. 8 races, 7 ranks. And then he's asking me if I'm using mods. And I don't get a chance to show it in this video, but my reply to him is, how did I do it? I say practice. Because that's all it is. It's